Something Else Tele Movies. Welcome to the first ever episode of the Something Else Tele and Movies. So, as I said in the latest Something Else podcast, I am introducing a couple of more shows, well, a few more shows really, Something Else Music, Gaming and Tele and Movies. So this one is all about that, all about movies. So, let's begin. What is the topic of today? Now, I do have a film I want to talk about. It's one, I'm not going to name what it is, I'll just give you a clue, the Snyder Cut. It's a film that I so desperately needed to watch and was waiting for it, but that's another show. So, for the first ever episode, show, whatever you want to call it, what are we going to talk about? Wow, we're going to talk about what's next. So, what I mean by that is, if you look at movies and television, the screens, as I'll refer to it as the screen. If you look at the screen throughout the years, how's it worked? What's happened to it? So we started off with film, silent movies, black and white, that sort of thing. Laurel and Hardy, Buster Keaton, the classics. Then we went to, obviously, films with sound. Still black and white on film. Then we went to, state-of-the-art, widescreen, you name it. We had everything. It went from black and white to colour. Then we had, stereo sound and all this stuff. And then what happened? It stayed that way for a while. And I think you can only shoot like 10 minutes of film on one reel. So imagine the amount of film you needed for like Cleopatra. So it's what happened after that? Well, we went digital. Now, you can see the differences, obviously. I mean, that's like with photography, film versus digital. You can always see the benefits of both and the cons of both. But we went to digital. But I think before that, let me throw this in because I've wrote these down on my little notebook. But before we went digital, we had 3D. I'm not talking about what we see now, but I'm talking about when you have to wear the Quality Street wrappers of glasses, red and blue. We went to that. But the best part was, it actually worked in a way. I remember I had a dinosaur magazine, and it had these glasses. Blew my mind. But yeah, we went to 3D. And then obviously we've got 3D as what we know now, which is absolutely mind-boggling. The first film I saw in 3D properly was, what was it? Transformers Dark Side of the Moon? Or something like that? Dark of the Moon? I can't remember. I know it's a Pink Floyd-y similar title. But anyway. We do have 4D. Now, I'm not sure if it's like, is Sea Life Centre worldwide? I know it's in Britain. But they have a cinema there, and it's called 4D Cinema. You get it in Cadbury's World, so if you ever want to visit somewhere with a 4D cinema, go to the Cadbury's World. What that essentially is, in the cinema, in Sea Life Centre, you'll be watching a film on a big screen, but then they would have, it's like a bubble machine for when you go underwater and you swim with the turtles and everything, and the bubbles will pop in your face. Then like a dolphin or a whale will spray water at you, so you get like this just bit of water sprayed in your face. There's another one, I think it's when you go on a bumpy ride or something like that, like when you're riding the waves and it pokes you in the back, single-handedly. The worst pain ever. Then the one in Cadbury's World, there's a part where it shows you how the rollers crush the cocoa beans and your chair starts moving side to side. So that's 4D. Or, like, original scary movie now, but if you've ever watched Kentucky Fried Movie, they do feel around. So instead of surround sound, you've got feel around, and it's this dude watching the film and there's a man behind him. And everything that happens in the film, he's doing it to him. So, like, there's a part where, like, I don't know, the character in the movie is being, like, hugged and groped by this woman, and the dude's obviously behind him doing the same thing. It's like, oh, yeah. And then there's a part where she has to kill him, and, like, the guy behind I think it's the guy doing all the actions, while to the man sitting down, he puts a knife to his neck. It's not that funny when I say it that loud. Anyway, I'm going off point. So, what is next? So we've gone from film, silent movies to movies with sound. Then we've gone from black and white to colour. We've gone from mono to stereo to full-on surround sound. We've gone from 3D with the blue and red to what we know now. We've gone to, 4D if you want to count that. And what else have we done? That's what I'm getting at. Like, what is next for the screens? So we've got stuff like, obviously, we've gone from like, normal vision to HD to Ultra HD to 4K to like 8K, you name it. We're going up in quality. Like with Blu-ray, that blew my mind. I remember going from VHS to DVD, blew my mind. Then I went from DVD to Blu-ray, blew my mind again. Crazy. But that's not the point. You see, I've been going through this. Obviously, we've got CGI. So we've gone from having real people to really bad dummies and props to CGI. I mean, most films now, there's a hint of CGI. John Wick 1, there's a part where the dog, his little puppy, does a poo. That was CGI. Terrible. Obviously, Batman versus Superman, the CGI lip, that's just intense. Obviously, we've got animation as well. That's changed. We've gone from people drawing it on paper and flipping it through, really, like Disney used to. And now it's all done via computer, really. So I started thinking about different aspects of movies in general. One of my the things I love most in movies, and I don't know if you get it in normal TV, but are alternative endings. Now, Marvel's a classic one for doing post-credit scenes. I love them. But it's alternative endings. Now, if you've watched I Am Legend with Will Smith, there is a pretty cool alternative ending. I didn't like it, but it was good. It kind of changed the whole, but what if? Infinity War, no, Endgame, sorry. I mean, I won't ruin it for anyone, but in Endgame, there's an alternative ending. The ending's the same, but it's the way it's carried out is different. And I was like, that's really cool. I really like that. And then you've got the whole term, like, is it canon to the franchise or the universe? Now, what I mean by that is, if you look at the X-Men movies, some of them aren't canon because they don't fit in the timeline. Or if you've watched the WandaVision, there's a part where Quicksilver, her brother, comes back. What's his name? Petro Maximoff? Anyway, there's a part where he comes back, but it was played by a different actor. I think I've just spoiled that for you. Sorry, spoiler warning. Or spoiler alert, sorry. But yeah, you get my point. But I had an idea, like, I'm going back a few years ago now, because YouTube is kicking off. You've got stuff like Netflix. They're doing their own shows now, series and films. But I had an idea years ago. What if we chose, as the viewer, what happens in it? How awesome would that be? Now, I had this idea a long, long time ago. My mate, I speak about him quite a lot on the show, Robert. Don't know why I did the horns there. If you're listening, my man, or anyone really, check him out. He's fucking genius. But I've kind of approached this to him before because I've always wanted to make a film. I like filming, Most of the time I'm just filming what my son's done. Oh, he's jumped in a puddle for the 10,000th time. I mean, that is fun. But my idea was to have, like, on YouTube especially, because you could do like 10-minute episodes. But basically, you'd film one episode and film, say, 4 different endings to that episode. Then you'd pull it out to the viewers, say, which one do you want? So you do a poll, you'll do a vote. They vote for which one next, and you've already got it. You know what I mean? How cool would that be? You are literally saying what happens. I mean, it's already going to be recorded, obviously. You'll just say, which one do you want? Do you want ending 1, 2, 3, or 4? Or part 1, 2, 3, 4? I think that's an awesome idea. Because it would make it more... I guess it would make you more involved, more immersed inside inside whatever's happening, whether it's a TV show or a film. I think it would just be brilliant. Because I was thinking about this before, like with gaming, look how far that's come. Like, you go back 10 years, what will that be? 2011? Fucking hell. We had like Xbox Connects with the camera and you have to do all the movements. PlayStation did it. And now we've got something completely different. We have actual VR where you can put a stupidly big, in a sense, TV screen on your face. You've got the joysticks and you can play stuff like Resident Evil. You can play, there's a ton for the mobiles as well. But you've got this virtual reality. Like, could you do that with movies and TV shows? I think one of the best first person, because this is similar to VR, because it's virtual reality, is the Doom film with The Rock and Carl Urban. They did a wicked awesome kind of like tip of the hat sort of thing. to the game where you go first person, and in the film it only lasts for about 2-3 minutes, but it goes around first person shooting all the demons and everything. And they did a feature-length film called Hardcore Henry, which is solely from the protagonist's point of view. How amazing would that be? You're watching a film, and it's like you could watch the film as the film is. So have a camera that films it generically, so you're looking at different angles. But then you could have an option to put a headset on, so you can see it from each character's point of view. So every actor, like main actor that is, has like a camera on them, so you can see their point of view. That would be fucking awesome, actually. And I haven't even wrote that down. Not that you can see, but I think I need to speak to Hollywood. But yeah, I think that's a pretty cool idea. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that would be a good idea? I mean, what would be the next thing? Because audio's completely changed now. I mean, it's gone from being mono to, 12.5 thousand surround, you know what I mean? The visuals, they've changed. They've got better in quality. Like I said, we've had all sorts of 3D and... I mean, what else is there? I mean, with lockdown, I've really missed going to the cinema. I love going to it. I'm very much a movie... I wouldn't say a movie buff, but I do enjoy the whole get the popcorn, get your tickets, go and watch the movie. Love it. Like the film I want to do another show about, which I won't name, I'll just say Snyder Cut. I sat down twice now I've watched it. That was 4 hours long, but I can only imagine what it would have been like in the movies, like in the cinema. I mean, imagine that in 3D. Bloody hell. But that's really what this one was about. It was, what is next? Because we don't know. I mean, movies have got easier to get. They've gone from, well, I guess real, as in a reel of film. They've gone from that to a VHS tape, to DVD, to, if you can hear screaming, it's Ted, by the way. He's playing Tig and Tag or something. But you get it now on like, it went from, like I said, film to, in a sense, you've gone from tape to DVD, so digital format, to actually streaming it on the cloud. Again, it's still digital format if you look at it in that aspect. But what is next? And that's the question I want to throw to you guys. What do you think is next in a film? I mean, come on, we've even got actors that have died reappearing, but with the deep fake sort of thing. They did it in Star Wars with Princess Leia. I can't remember the other guy's bloody name. But it basically had an actress come in, or an actor come in, who looked similar to Princess Leia. What was her name? I can't remember her name. That's really going to bug me. I'll remember it at some point. I'll flash it up. But the name, that is. But yeah, like they're basically making people that have passed away, or like de-aging. That's the thing. You can get like, what films I was watching the other day, and they de-aged someone. It absolutely blew my mind. Oh, Coming to America. They de-aged Eddie Murphy and the dudes. I'm not remembering names today, but they de-aged them, and it was absolutely flawless. But again, that's another thing they've done in the movies now. They can de-age actors so they can reprise roles. Let's just hope they never do another Rambo. No, they are actually doing another one, actually, aren't they? We don't need that. The last one weren't too good, was it? But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. For the first ever show, I'm going to leave it on a question for you, my viewers, or listeners, or people, or me. But I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave it as that, as a question. What is next for telly and films? Think about that and let me know. Thank you for listening. See you next time. Bye.